How you gonna do it if you really don't?
So y'all don't hear the good morning, good afternoon. Y'all don't hear the system audio at all? Hold on. There should be a setting. Let me see. Let's see. No. Hold on, y'all. I got to get the system audio right. Let me see this. Let me know if y'all can hear the system audio. Because I need y'all to be able to hear. Wait a minute. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me see. You know what? I think I have to share the screen. All right. Yeah. I think I have to. Yeah. Hold on just a second. Because I need y'all to be able to. It was clear before? Yeah. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this. Let's see. All right. Now let me know if y'all can hear system audio. Yeah, you hear me talking, but I need y'all to hear the system, the internal system audio. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Y'all need. I don't know. I'm not. I've got 6 children. You have. Yeah. All right. much time trying to get this music to play. But anyway, how y'all doing? Freedom marchers, freedom family, freedom lovers, and freedom fighters. Snapzilla Gorillas in the building. Hitting y'all off with this, hitting y'all upside the head with this quick morning paper. I just felt like I needed to, we got to get some shit straight, man. Because I don't know what's going on in the world today where we are more and more trying to normalize nasty behavior, and we got to knock that shit off. We got to knock it off, man, because you got people out here just making excuses. You know, their guy is being accused of this, that, and the third, so they got to downplay it. They got to change their tune, you know, and it's crazy what links people will go to in order to excuse his behavior because their favorite person is being accused of something, and that's completely ridiculous. Hold on. Where's that's ridiculous. What the hell? What? Trying to. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so we got to knock that off, man. And I'm going to touch on a couple people that are acting like they're ignoring the issue. They're gaslighting people. And we got to knock this shit off, man. We got to come to terms with the reality. Reality is there's some nasty motherfuckers out there, and we need to address it. Freedom Seating, salute to you. What's good, Supreme Being, 9 Ether, Mansa Musa L, Latressa Montgomery's in here, Can't Guard J's up in here, Rob Curtis, Flying Guillotine. Salute to y'all. Spicy Burrito was good. Salute, salute, salute. Make sure y'all hit the like button too, man. Make sure we're hitting the like button. And I'm pretty sure by now you guys heard what Megyn Kelly said, right? Y'all know who Megyn Kelly is. She is a conservative talking head, you know what I'm saying, a Trump supporter, or at least she was. And she likely still is. So it's crazy, right? The Epstiens will destroy both Democrat and Republican Party. I hope so. I hope we expose all the nasty people on both sides and show the world how these people operate, right? We already know they take money from all these different organizations and corporations and PACs and all that stuff to represent those interests, but they don't truly represent ours. And there's a reason behind that. Hold on, y'all. Y'all see me? Yeah, man. Shit's crazy. Shit is crazy. Modus operandi, blackmail. The left is absolute garbage, and so is the right. The right is absolute garbage as well. So we're not going to play those games left versus right. We're not doing that. We're exposing both sides. But right now, the right is acting out of pocket, right? So we're going to get into that for sure, right? Now let's see. Let's see here. We're going to start with, obviously, what Megyn Kelly said. Crazy. Right? This wench right here. Yeah, this woman. This woman with all this makeup packed on her face. And this woman who does not want to hold the PDF files accountable. Obviously, right? She's going to say the wildest shit. Now, let's understand. She's going to be telling you what she heard from somebody, right? But how she conveys what she heard lets you know where she stands, right? These are the people out here pushing propaganda, right? This is the Operation Mockingbird media that we're looking at. She's not in mainstream media anymore. She's doing her own thing. But she's still holding the line. She's still towing the line. This is what this woman is doing. what that booty dude says, just because you want to tear it all down in the name of communism doesn't make it true. Communism? Who said anything about communism? You ain't talking about me. What that booty dude, you're an idiot. There's no one in here is a commie. Trump used U.S. children as slaves. Well, not just U.S. children. This is a worldwide epidemic. See, the elite class is not confined to the United States. They're all over the place. They're all over the world. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, guys. Hold on. All of a sudden, hold on. Sorry about that. Kids. No one is a commie. No one is a commie. So I know you ain't talking about me. Salute to Brother Slim Hussein in the building. Salute to you, bro. CNN just confessed they lied on Trump and Epstein. Did they? Did they? I didn't hear that. I got to look that up. Go sit there and, I think Miss Kelly didn't get fired before the rebrand and the rebrand. Well, we're gonna hear what she has to say.
As for Epstein, I've said this before, but just as a reminder, I do know somebody very, very close to this case who is in a position to know virtually everything. Not everything, but virtually everything. And this person has told me from the start, years and years ago, that Jeffrey Epstein, in this person's view, was not a pedophile. This is this person.
Now, let me ask y'all. She said she knew this from years and years ago. She talked to this person years and years ago. Did she bring this up years and years ago? Has anyone ever heard her talk about this years and years ago? Or is this the first time she's bringing this up? Because I'm very interested in knowing who this person is, right? Who is this person she's bringing up? The Oh My Goddess says CNN did read a legal not claiming Trump has did anything wrong within these emails. Well, they don't really say he did anything wrong, right? It doesn't say that he participated in the acts, right? It says in one email that he spent hours with a victim, which they say is Virginia Jeffery or Jeffrey, whatever hell name, however you pronounce her name, right? She said previously on numerous occasions that he's never done anything appropriate. So it doesn't say that he did anything wrong. Even in the other email where Epstein says basically that he's not a member, but he is aware, he knows what's going on. And that's what I have a problem with. Just because you're not doing the thing, but you know about the thing that these nasty people are doing, that does not absolve you of any wrongdoing, right? Islam is the real danger. Yes. So just because you're not doing it, but you're aware of it and you've been aware of it for years, if you've been aware of it for years, then everyone should be aware of it. If you don't agree with that behavior, then you should definitely be shedding the light on it and make sure that the victims get justice. Otherwise, you just don't care. And you're still a friend with this person. You still hang out with them. You still, you know what I'm saying? So whether, yeah, it's crazy. I'm not rolling with that. But listen to what she says.
Person's view, who was there for a lot of this, but that he was into the barely legal type. Like he,
y'all, do you all hear this? You guys can hear it, right? Sam Hyde says you don't believe him now. He could be an accessory. If he knows, he has knowledge, right? He has knowledge of it, but he's not. If you have knowledge of a crime of this magnitude, but you don't say anything about it or you don't do anything about it. You don't snitch. Because we're talking about children. But apparently she doesn't believe that these young girls were children, right?
Liked 15's view, who was there for a lot of this, but that he was into the barely legal type. Like he liked 15-year-old girls.
15 years old is not legal at all. How are we saying 15-year-old girls are barely legal? Right? She's saying that a person close to this whole situation said that he was doing this with barely legal girls. 15 years, there is nowhere where this is legal at 15 years old. There are states where the age of consent, unfortunately, is 16 years old. But 15 is not legal. So what is she talking about? See, this is a way for these people to normalize this behavior. This is what they're doing. Flying, being an informant is telling. So what? You're telling on someone victimizing children. Victimizing children, you don't get the protection from snitching on that. It is telling. You absolutely right. Trump is protecting PDF files. This is exactly what he's doing. Yes, Freedom Seating says, how about the pizza parties? They all know. Whether they participate or don't participate does not matter. They are aware. They have knowledge of this. And this is the problem. Salute to Angel Baby in the building. Salute to you. Sam Hyde says, well, no one believed Trump when he hinted at Hillary Clinton being a part of it. Why should we believe Trump? If he knows that Hillary Clinton is a part of it, if he knows that Bill Clinton is a part of it, yet he just sits there and all he does is say, hey, Ghislaine, can you stop? I'm running for president. I don't need this to come back on me. Can you stop now? This shit is crazy. There is no way to excuse this behavior without looking crazy your goddamn self. Mahabar says, wake up, USA, protect your children. Yes, that's exactly what we got to do. Oh my God, it says, once info has been given to the FBI, it is up to them to complete. Well, what did Trump give to the FBI? Did Trump give anything to the FBI? Did Trump give any information to the FBI? When did Trump tell the FBI that Jeffrey Epstein was a PDF file? Yes, once you tell, then okay, good. But if you're the president of the United States, it is up to you to make sure this justice is administered. Hold on. This is crazy. Oh my goddess. I can't believe you're saying this. He's the president. Donald Trump is the top cop now, and he was a top cop from 2016 to 2020. You run the FBI. You are the head of the FBI. It is up to you to say, we need to go after everybody on this list, every single client. Angel Baby says they're definitely hiding something. For sure, for sure. Brent Johnson says we have to protect our children from MAGA Republicans, from Democrat as well. Listen, these people are implicit and complicit. They know, and they turn a blind eye to keep up the status quo, to keep their position, to keep their power, and to keep their money. They are all aware. Informant investigators are at work. We'll start arresting people. I don't want to hear Kash Patel saying, oh, well, there wasn't nobody participating but Jeffrey Epstein. I don't want to hear that shit. Miss me with that. Y'all hit the like button. I can't even see how many likes I got. How many likes I got, Slim? Investigation is still ongoing. Is it? Because from what Pam Bondi said, the Justice Department is telling us there's nothing else to investigate. There's nothing else that shows that we can prosecute anybody else in regards to this. This is nonsense. KGarJ says if Trump was an informant, he would have been spilled the beans by now. Yes. There's no reason for him to keep any of this information silent. But what we need to focus on what this woman is saying is legal. This woman is saying 15 years old is legal. This has been the push for decades since the 80s. You guys know who Fambla or Lamba? The dude's man boy lover, the man boy lover group. Nambla. Yeah, they have been trying to push this as a legitimate sexuality for decades. They have been trying to tie themselves to the LMNOP community and make it normal. Yeah, Nambla. Thank you, Ace Mac. Yeah, she has a 14 or 15-year-old. This is wild. Is she going to let a Jeffrey Epstein take her daughter somewhere?
And I realize this is disgusting. I'm definitely not trying to make an excuse for this. I'm just giving you facts. That he wasn't into like 8-year-olds. Mm-hmm.
She said the facts is that he wasn't into 18-year-olds. Now, she's calling this a fact based on something that she was told by someone else. She has secondhand knowledge that she's calling a fact.
But he liked the very young teen types that could pass for even younger.
The very young teen types. Just let's break down the language here. Let's break down the words. The real caveman says, you mean a National Association of Marlon Brando lookalikes. That's funny. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. Let me know if y'all can hear the music. Let me know if my daughter is upset. Hold on. Y'all hear the music? U.S. Supreme Court. Lots of sickos. Yes, it's still a child. You can't hear the music. All right, hold on a second. Hold on just a second, y'all. Sorry about that, y'all. Salute to share and love it. My bad, man. You know, you got to deal. I'm up here working, right? I was working for the last 2 hours. No one came and bothered me. Okay, no children. No one came here and said, Baba this, Baba that. And then as soon as I start doing a live, and then of course, you know, people left because nothing's going. Did y'all hear the music just now? Let me know you guys can read me. Give me an RLC. Supreme Being 9 Ether Mansa Musa says it's too risky and dangerous. So when it comes down to the state owning everybody, we have to get those important documents to be in full control of self. Yes. But you can hear me, right, though, Sharon? All right, so let's listen to what this woman said. Let me know. Make sure y'all can hear the system audio.
Than they were, but would look legal to a passerby. And that is what I believed, and that was what I reliably was told for many years.
That's what she believes. This woman believes that a 15-year-old is legal, barely legal, but legal, in that, you know, he just likes the barely legal girls who can pass for older. That's what she's saying. Yes, stand together. We have to. Yes, double tap that screen. Yes, this woman she has a 15-year-old, 14-year-old daughter. She is normalizing this with a 14-year-old daughter. She is trying to normalize this behavior. This is what this talk is about. This thing that she's doing right now is she's trying to convince the world, oh, Jeffrey Epstein, it was just a 15-year-old. That's all. Now, it gets worse. It gets worse. And salute to Mother Jones for throwing this clip up there. All right. It gets worse. Right? It gets worse. Barely legal where it's at. Keyword is legal. It's not the keyword. First, I don't know what you're saying, Mo Meaty, but first of all, 15-year-old is not legal, right? Because she said 15.
But he liked the very 15-year-old girls, but that he was into the barely legal type. Like he liked 15-year-old
15-year-old is not legal. There is no state in the union where a 15-year-old is legal. There's no legal age of consent at 15 years old in any state. Yes, barely legal means 18 plus, but she's saying 15 is barely legal.
And I realize this is disgusting. I'm definitely not.
Oh, it's absolutely disgusting. But here you are. You are making these statements, even though it's completely disgusting. I realize it's disgusting, but I'm going to say the stupid shit anyway. Yes, she's conveying to you what someone told her, but she's telling you that she believes this.
Not trying to make an excuse for this. I'm just giving you facts. That he wasn't into like 8-year-olds, but he liked the very young teen types that could.
Teen types? No, a teen, not a teen type. A 15-year-old is a teen.
Pass for even younger than they were, but would look legal to.
That could pass for younger than they were, but could look legal? That doesn't even make sense. So 15, she's saying that he liked girls that are 15 years old that could pass for younger than 15, but looks legal. What the fuck is she talking about? It doesn't even make any sense.
To a passerby. And that is what I believed, and that was what I reliably was told for many years. And it wasn't until we heard from Pam Bondi that they had tens of thousands of videos of alleged, forgive me, they used to call it kiddie porn. Now they call it child sexual abuse material on his computer, that for the first time I thought, oh no, he was an actual pedophile. I mean,
so it took for her to realize that this man had kiddie porn of girls in the age range of 8 and 10 and below for her to think, oh no, he's definitely, that's what it takes. When it was 15, oh yeah, barely legal. But if you have kiddie porn with 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, you're a monster. What is she talking about? Does she hear herself? Did somebody come on now, doggy? Come on now, dog. What is we talking about?
Only a pedophile gets off on young child sexual abuse material of alleged that they had tens of thousands of videos legal to a passerby. And that is what I believed, and that was what I reliably was told for many years. And it wasn't until we heard from Pam Bondi that they had tens of thousands of videos of alleged, forgive me, they used to call it kiddie porn. Now they call it child sexual abuse material on his computer, that for the first time I thought, oh no, he was an actual pedophile. I mean,
so it took for her to have knowledge of the fact that he had kiddie porn in his computer for him to finally say, oh, now he's a pedophile. Do you hear this? They're trying to normalize the sexualization of teenage children by grown-ass men and women. If you're a grown-ass man and woman, in her mind, if you're attracted to a 14, 15-year-old, or you go after them, or you do something with children that age, then there's nothing wrong with that. You just like them young. This is what they think, right?
Only a pedophile gets off on young children abuse videos.
15-year-olds are young children. Right? Slim Hussein, she does look kind of mannish, doesn't she? Sharon Levitt says she a part of the system that is anti-normal behavior developed and set up by a dark group of people here on Earth. This is damaging because we are creating an unsafe environment for everyone. Yeah, absolutely. But this is the goal, to create this unsafe environment and make it normal. Latressa says, that's why I say they're all just dumb. They're not just dumb, they're evil. Right? King Nate Dogg says a PDF is someone that likes children under 9. Someone that likes teens is called, I don't care what it's called. Yeah, I don't care. See, they create these different subsections. At the end of the day, you are a child sexual abuser. Whether you're a pedo, whether you're a hebephile, I don't care. You are a child sexual abuser, because a 15-year-old, a 16-year-old, 17-year-old are children. Point blank and period. I don't care about the subcategories. I don't care about the subcategories. I care about the fact that these are children that you're sexually abusing. That's really all that matters to me. I know about hebephile, and I know about a febophile. I know about those distinctions. I don't care about none of that. That's why you won't hear me say words like this, because now they're just going to look at a pedo as the one that's violating. If you focus on these tiny distinctions, oh well, it's just an febophile or a hebephile. No, fuck all that. No, we ain't doing that. Yes, it's called sick as fuck. Exactly. I don't care about none of these distinctive subcategories. She's just defending truck. They don't care about no kids, even though she got a kid. She got kids that age. Yes, wickedness in high places. Facts. Blickadoo. yeah, absolutely. But don't make no mistake that this goes on in the black community as well, and it needs to be called out and needs to be addressed. It gets swept under the rug in the black community as well. Right? Yeah, that's what I think. But it doesn't matter, right? They're child sexual abusers. If they want to make these subcategories, I don't care about none of them subcategories. Try that with my kid. I won't care if it's my 8-year-old kid or my 15-year-old daughter. You're gonna get your head bust. That's all that matters to me. Go ahead, violate. Sir Richard Stewart says Epstein was a victim of Jimmy Savile. Savile, he was groomed from the start. I don't care about none of that. You're a grown-ass man. You should be able to exercise constraint and control. Go seek help. If he was groomed by another guy, you need to go seek help. You don't need to violate other children because you got violated. I ain't rolling with that. No, sir. I ain't rolling. Yes, there are pedos in all communities. We have to understand that. Yes. Yes, protected children. I always say that children are the least protected class in the world. The least protected class in the world are children. Except for in my house. In my house, they're the most protected. And that's where it starts, right? It starts in the house. It starts with the family. That's why the family is the most important unit in community. That is the single most important community. From there, you build up. You build a community of a few families. That's going to be the second most important. Once you grow these communities larger and larger and larger, it gets out of control, right? And the power starts to recede from the individual. Anyway.
She's never clarified it. I don't know whether it's true. I have to be honest. I don't really trust Pam Bondi's word on the Epstein matters
or anything else.
That's funny. She doesn't trust Pam Bondi's word. At 15 till that doesn't do the trick. Then it's 12. Exactly. They're going to go younger and younger and younger and younger. Chuck U. Farley says, wasn't Trump the only president that has ran a child sex? Not that I'm aware of. Yeah, did they break up child sex rings? Sure, absolutely. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean nothing. The hell FBI agent that could arrest a bunch of PDF files and be a PDF file him damn self. That does not preclude you from participating in the behavior. But I'm not sure Donald Trump was the only president, right? Like I said, Donald Trump may or may not have participated, but he was aware, in my opinion. There's enough evidence to show to me that he was aware of this behavior, that he was aware of what Jeffrey Epstein was doing, and he let it rock. Anyway. So Richard Stewart says, my cousin ran teams all over the world rescuing children. 3,500. He was recognized for out of Ukraine at a funeral. Wow. Okay. He was assassinated. Damn. Yeah. That's crazy work. So Richard Stewart, do me a favor. Send me an email at freedomsmarch80@gmail.com. I would love to hear more about that. Yeah, that's crazy. It makes sense that he would be assassinated for something like that. And that's for anybody. Anybody can, send me an email. Anyway, let's finish this.
Yeah, so I don't know what's true about him, but we have yet to see anybody come forward and say, I was I was under 10. I was under 14.
Does it matter?
When I first came within his purview. You can say that's a distinction without a difference.
No, it
is a distinction without a difference. And she's aware of this, but she's going to tell you that it's not a distinction without a difference. She's going to tell you there's a difference. No, there is no difference. They're trying to make differences and normalize it. They're trying to create differences and say, this is just normal. It's a distinction. It's a distinction with a difference. No, it's not. It's a distinction without a difference. Point blank and period. Yes, Latressa, they think they're always deserving of a pass. Facts.
It's not.
I think there is a difference. Yeah. There's a difference between a 15-year-old and a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
In what way? No, it's a distinction. without a difference. They're children. Is there a difference functionally in general between an 8-year-old and a 15? Sure. But the difference in terms of violating children, there is no difference, right? You violate a 15-year-old, you a grown-ass man in your 30s and 40s and 20s, and you sexually violate a 15-year-old. There's no difference between that and an 8-year-old. You violate an 8-year-old, it's the same level of violation as if you were to do that to a 15-year-old. There is no difference, right? In terms of what type of justice one should seek, right? If you deserve to be decapitated, if you deserve to be tar and feathered, you're not going to get less tar and less feathers because they're 15 and not 8. There is no difference. They're trying to make differences, though. They're trying to make differences. The Motway says 15-year-olds are barely legal to the GOP. And it's not just it's not just the Republicans, right? It's not just them. A PDF file is a PDF file. I don't care if they're red or blue, independent, libertarian, or claim to be an anarchist. I don't care about none of that, right? So that's where I'm coming from with it. And now it's a distinction without a difference. Say your name when you can read this. Why? Merhaba Haber? I don't know. But this is wild work. This is wild work. The least protected class in this world are the children. And we need to step up to protect the children. This is just simply what we need to do. Now, this is what Tim Pool is going to do. Because these emails are out, he is running defense. He's doing damage control. He's trying to distract and attack the straw man to take the heat off of Donald Trump. He trying to stream snipe? What does that mean? So it's funny how these people maneuver to get around this situation. I mean, like I said, the emails are not a nothing burger and they're not a smoking gun. It's not a smoking gun and it's not a nothing burger. It's something that we need to pay attention to. And we need to find out, well, how much knowledge did Donald Trump have? If he didn't participate, sure, okay, fine. But if you knew he was doing it, then you know probably who else was doing it, who was participating. Who are the clients? Right? That's what I want to know. So Tim Pool, obviously, because he is completely bought in. He's definitely going to be running interference and gaslighting for Donald Trump. Let me see. But, this is par for the course. Here we go. This is par for the course. Rip You, the man says, and if you knew then why didn't you do anything? Yeah, exactly. He can't get away from this. This is just reality. Or let's see what Tim Pool talking about. He says Epstein lie just blew up in the Democrats' faces. What lie? They presented the emails. But we'll see what he's talking about. See, this is called framing. This is called framing. They released the emails. It implicates Trump. The emails implicate Trump is plain and simple. They didn't write the emails. They didn't tell Jeffrey Epstein to write what he wrote.
Jeffrey Epstein's relationships with high-profile Democrats and banks. Oh, boy. Guys, yesterday, the Democrats tried framing Donald Trump as it relates to Epstein. And I'm confused by this because...
How did they frame him? They released emails. Did they pick and choose which emails they would release? Sure. But the emails are there. Trump's name is in those emails. How did they frame him? They put the emails out. Yes, the emails were wild, Slim Hussein. Miss Hummingbird says fast and pray. Absolutely. The nasty YN CNN admitted love, it had nothing to do with Trump. What Louvre? What is this? What had nothing to do with Trump? Salute to the brother Insane Most Hated. Salute to you, bro. Boss says you sound like Kramer's lawyer. Okay. Mighty Melly says, why would Trump know Epstein's personal business? A blackmailer cannot blackmail if he shares the secrets. And what could Trump do but raise the alarm back then? Exactly what you just said. Raise the alarm. Raise the alarm. He did not do that. He didn't raise no alarm. You think Trump didn't know? All these people knew. And that who said that it was a Democrat hoax after he ran on a campaign of releasing the files? Oh, I'm gonna release the files as soon as day one. And then he tries to bury them. Then he says, oh, this is just a hoax. When Pam Bondi made him aware that his name was in those files. Yeah. Elon Musk said the same thing. Then all of a sudden it became a hoax. Well, maybe if he knew about it, he should have said something, right? Got out in front of it. Maybe he should have came out publicly and said something about it. No. He was too busy being upset because Jeffrey Epstein bought some houses that he liked. That's what really got him riled up, right? Rip you the man. When did Donald Trump raise the alarm? If that's what you're saying. They knew each other for a long minute. When did Donald Trump raise the alarm about Jeffrey Epstein? Brother, even if you ignore the Epstein stuff, he also tried to make a deal with Russia, betrayed the Ukrainians March 5th, and negotiated for Russia to keep everything. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is what I mean. Donald Trump has done a lot of things that y'all expected him to do, or he has done a lot of things against what y'all expected him to do, what he told y'all he was going to do. This is what I mean. This is what politicians do, right? They talk a good game to get your support, and when they get into position, they do whatever they want. They don't have to do anything for you. This is something that we have to realize. Yeah, I heard about Donald Trump and Bubba. I heard about that. Slim Hussein says y'all unrealistic. Y'all know personal business of coworkers in everyday life just from working with each other, and we broke. Yeah, they got exactly. But let's see what Tim Pool has to say to cover for Trump.
The Democrats, literally the Democrats on X, that's their account, said Epstein.
You see, he's pushing the left-right paradigm bullshit. He's pushing the left-right division. That's what he's doing. When he talks like this, the Democrats, yeah, that's right, the Democrats. This is not progress. See, left-right really is up-down. That's where the real problem is, right? Between the elite class and the proletariat class, not the left and the right. But of course, that's what he wants you to focus on the left-right because, well, this is how he makes his bread and butter.
Called Trump the worst person he knew. And it's like, what are you on Epstein's side? I'm confused by what your point is. Like, yeah, Epstein did not like Donald Trump because Donald Trump kicked him out of his club and wouldn't participate. But anyway, in this email, he says that Trump
wouldn't participate. Did you hear what Tim Pool just said? Because Donald Trump wouldn't participate. Participate in what? The nasty behavior? Again, pointing to this distinct possibility that Donald Trump was aware. And how many times has Donald Trump said, well, putting these things out might hurt certain people. We don't want certain people to get implied that shouldn't be, and it's going to hurt this person, that person. He cares about protecting his elite class members, his elite class cohorts. That's what he's more interested in. He's not interested in protecting children or getting justice for these victims at all. Yes, Sir Richard says, release the names and the files will shut down the planet. Oh, well, this is what has to happen. Slim Hussein says, we've seen Trump and the picture of his daughter in his lap in front of the parrots. That's crazy. What? Interesting. I definitely gotta look it up. The rice potato says if he did it, he wouldn't have murdered thousands and try to fast track and into Ukraine. I don't know what that. I think I saw the video of that. That's like going to Magic Mountain and saying you didn't see anything to write on. That's crazy.
With victim. Trump was with victim. Oh, heavens me, who could it have been? It implies that Trump was doing something untoward. Turns out the redacted name was Virginia Giuffre, who already testified under oath multiple times.
And what happened to Virginia Giuffre? And who said that the victim was Virginia Giuffre? This is what they're assuming. This is what they're guessing, right? I think the DOJ said that. How do we know? They redacted the name. All right, show us the unredacted email that shows that it's Virginia Jeffery. Nonetheless, see that you spent hours with this victim. Did you know that she was a victim? Did you know that she was a child and a victim? Another email implicates you as having knowledge of what Jeffrey Epstein was doing, even though you weren't a member. But is he going to bring that up?
Trump never did anything wrong as far as she knew. And if they didn't redact the name, then it's a nothing burger. It's not a story.
It's not a nothing burger. See, because Virginia Jeffery could have lied about Donald Trump not doing anything wrong. Maybe her life was threatened. Maybe she was coerced. We have no idea. Right? We're just assuming that she's telling the truth. We're just believing her. So what if she said it multiple times under oath? People can't lie under oath. And why did she kill herself? Yeah, she testified Trump didn't do anything. So what? And listen, it doesn't matter if he didn't do anything. If he knew what was going on, if he knew about the whole situation, if he knew about the ring, if he knew about the blackmailing, if he knew about this, if he knew about that, that makes him culpable because he was placed in a position of power where he could have sought justice for the victims. He could have released the files in 2016 and beyond. He could have released the files now. Now he's trying to bury shit. He buried it during his first administration. And then the Democrats buried it during their entire administration. And now they're trying to bury it again. But we're not supposed to care that he knew about it and didn't say nothing. We're just supposed to be like, oh, whatever. Right? Is that what we're saying? What is this guy talking about? You ain't talking about me. Dude, you ain't winning this. She testified. I don't care. You're missing the point. The point is, if he had an awareness of what Jeffrey Epstein was doing, then he's fucking culpable. Period. And that's what the second email says. The email where Jeffrey Epstein told Michael Wolff that Donald Trump was not a member, but he was aware of it. And he talked about how he could use that to leverage that against Trump during his campaign. And then he talked about how he told Ghislaine Maxwell to stop. So what does that mean to you? I don't care what Virginia Jeffery said, and I don't care if Virginia's name was in that email. We don't know that for sure. We're just going by what they told us. Why did the Democrats release them? To make Donald Trump look bad. To use it as ammunition against Donald Trump, obviously. And it's all part of the dog and pony show psychological operation. To give you the impression that the Democrats are against the Republicans and they're all fighting and they're fighting each other to do this and do that. No, that's not the reality. The reality is it's a distraction, right? They're gonna play games with this list. That's what they're going to do. Show us fucking proof that he knew. No, I'm not going to do that. Because I did not make an assertion that he knew. I said if he knew, and this email implicates him as having knowledge of it, then guess what? He was culpable. That's what I said. And he said things in the past that could have you believing that he knew about it. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Elon Musk said he was there. You guys all act like he never said it. Well, he said that Donald Trump was in the files, which he is. The email from Epstein to Michael Wolff says that Donald Trump knew. Yeah. This guy says you're funny and dumb at the same time. Why are you projecting? It's interesting when you guys come in here and project. Well, he was right. He said it because he was mad at Trump, but he wasn't lying. Because Pambani told him that he was on the list, that he was in those files. Yeah. Back in May of this year. Yeah. So, if Donald Trump knew what Jeffrey Epstein was doing, he had plenty of opportunity to help those victims get justice, then he's culpable, right? It's called an accessory after the fact. You have knowledge of this behavior, yet you're not doing, and everybody else that knew what Jeffrey Epstein was doing but did or said nothing, they're culpable as well. It's the bottom line to it. But of course, you guys are going to come here and defend Donald Trump. Sure, this is what you guys are going to do. Chuck U. Farley said Jeffrey Epstein exclusively and only donated his money to the Democratic Party because that was the side that helped support him. I don't have any awareness of that. I don't know about that. The point is, after she said this, she meeked herself. We all saw this movie before. The witness gets threatened. Yes. Yeah. But see, that's not what they want to run with. They want to run with, Virginia Jeffery said, and multiple times. That doesn't mean that she was telling the truth. It doesn't mean that. But there's plenty of evidence in those files, I'm sure. There are plenty in those files that will implicate a lot of people. There's evidence in those files that we will see if it's released. That will, a lot of people are going to be exposed. And this is what they don't want. It's really not about Trump at the end of the day, right? This is all a game to focus on Trump so that all the other elite people that participated in this doesn't get exposed, right? So they're going to play these games with this list. And then we're going to be focused on if Donald Trump did it or not. And that's going to be the only focus, when the focus should be everybody involved needs to be exposed. And everybody that knew about it but said nothing, turned a blind eye to it, and protected this man, they need to get exposed as well. Listen, dude, they already set in files that President Trump was the one that blew Epstein in zero. So what the hell are you talking about? What? They already said set in files that President Trump is the one that blew Epstein in zero. Who's they? Then why bury the files? Why not release the files? Why is Donald Trump trying to keep the files under wraps? Why is he calling it a hoax? If he was working with the FBI to get Epstein convicted, then it shouldn't be a problem. The file should have been released by the DOJ. The file should have been given over to the Democrats. Work with the Democrats to expose this. Yeah, you're not making any sense. I heard that he was working with the FBI. I actually covered that. Yeah, I covered how Mike Johnson said that he was working with the FBI to get Jeffrey Epstein arrested. Yeah, I covered that. You ain't saying nothing new to me, Pippin. How can you, in good conscience, depend on anything that now I can't? When did I say I believed anything the FBI and the CIA put in the files? Or you must be talking about the other guy. I never said that. Report saying that, what report? Send me an email, freedomsmarch80@gmail.com. See me what you got. Anyway.
So that's why they did it. The funny thing is the emails they released have actually implicated them. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, I will stress, as I have the past couple of days, or at least yesterday and today, I was sick the past couple of days, it is the utmost waste of time, in my opinion, that this has become politics in this country when we're dealing with serious political crises. ICE raids, H-1Bs, Chinese visas, workers, birth rates, AI, all this stuff. And I'm just like, you guys are just throwing Epstein at each other back and forth, and here we go. But I'll tell you.
You see that? He says you guys are throwing Epstein at each other back and forth. Okay. See, that makes a lot of sense because that's what they're doing. They're throwing Epstein at each other back and forth, but they're not giving us any real information. They're releasing emails that implicates people when they know they got hard evidence that they can lock motherfuckers up with. He's right about that. He's definitely right about it. But at the same time, he's calling what they have released a nothing burger. No, it's not a nothing burger. It's part of a big-ass scandal. It's a piece of a puzzle. You can't call that a nothing burger, right? Whether Trump participated or not, if he knew and he was the top cop for 2 different terms and could have done something about it, right? Just like he said he was going to have Hillary Clinton arrested. He didn't have Anthony Fauci arrested, even though Anthony Frosty clearly broke laws and violated his office. He didn't arrest him, right? if Donald Trump was in the files or did something, do you people think it wouldn't be out there by now? No, I don't, because you're not understanding. This is not just about Trump. It's not just about Trump. It's about his elite class benefactors. That's what it's about. All their elite class benefactors. You know, the elites that Jeffrey Epstein supplied these children to. That's who they're really protecting. And what I'm saying is, in my opinion, based on all the shit that has come out over the years, is that Donald Trump good and goddamn well knew what Jeffrey Epstein was doing, as did many other people. Bill Clinton, Alan Dershowitz, Prince Andrew, all these people, they knew. They knew about it. But they are protecting people you've never heard of before. That's who they're protecting. And people you've heard of. Yeah, they're not just people you've heard of and not heard of. Both. This is all a psychological operation, right? To have us fighting back and forth about whether or not Donald Trump did shit or not. That's not, and I've been saying this is not just about Trump. See, they're making this about protecting Trump. Not releasing the files. Oh, they won't release the files because Trump's in it. Man, Donald Trump is just one name. That's what this is about, right? But at the end of the day, we can't ignore that these emails, if they're legitimate, implicate Trump. Period. But they're going to try to steer you away from that. Okay, either Trump participated or he didn't. But my money goes to Donald Trump having intimate knowledge of what Jeffrey Epstein was doing. And so we have, with that in mind, we have to tell Donald Trump it's time to come clean. It's time to blow all this up. That's really what this is about. Yes, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it is very inappropriate. And he said that if she wasn't his daughter, then he would date her or some silly, stupid shit like that. It's a distraction to try to smear Trump. No, it's not a nothing burger. It's a distraction, sure, to make it appear like they're smearing Trump, to make this all about Trump. They're trying to make the Epstein files all about Trump, to hide the fact that others are involved and that Trump knew about it. They don't even want to admit that Donald Trump probably knew. And Megyn Kelly is downplaying the victimization of these children.
Tell you what, this is the news, apparently. So, while it's in the news, I'll address it because I'm sure there's people who want to hear more about it.
Anyway.
But I do think it is funny, honestly, that Trump is throwing this back in their face. The Post-Millennial reports President Donald Trump on Friday announced that he's asking the DOJ to investigate infamous financier Jeffrey Epstein's relationship with high-profile Democrats as well as banks.
Why are we doing this? Why is Donald Trump doing that? Why is the Democrats doing what they're doing? Just released all the goddamn shit. Why do you have to investigate? This shit should already been done. All we got to do is release all these goddamn files. I'm done talking about this shit with these people. I was going to show something else with Tim Pool. The bottom line is this. They know. They have all the evidence. They have all the files. They got pictures. They got emails. They got video. They got witness testimonies. They got victim testimony. They have all that. But what they're doing is they're throwing out little breadcrumbs here and there, having us chasing our tails. And these things they're releasing are very well probably real. But all it does is hint at this and hint at that, when they should be releasing the solid evidence that points to exactly who was doing what with whom, to then go investigate these individuals that were participating in this nasty behavior. And that is what the focus should be. But the focus is not that. The focus is, oh, look, the Democrats' names in Bill Clinton's name is in this email, and Donald Trump's name is in that email. Okay, cool. We see the emails. Show us more shit. Right? It's all hearsay evidence. Why no? Now they had these files for the last 4 years. Well, they're just going to show us hearsay. But the solid evidence, yeah, they're going to keep that to themselves. There's solid evidence in those files. That's why they won't release them. That's why they're playing these games. If you think the Democrats had smoking gun against Trump and did not utilize it, no, it's not. How is that a lack of common sense? Because the Democrats and the Republicans have equal interest in keeping these files hidden. Because if they were to release what may be the smoking gun against Trump, then it would drag other people into it, right? And I never said that the Democrats had a smoking gun against Trump. I never said that. I said these emails implicate Trump in involvement and definitely in the knowledge of what Jeffrey Epstein was doing. I said it's not a smoking gun and it's not a nothing burger. It's something that should be looked into and investigated. Point blank and period. No, I'm not a gambling man. The current Dems voted to release them. The current Republicans voted against it. The old Dems and the old Republicans were both against it. Of course they were. Right? Listen, man. It's all the game that they play. Brittany said, salute to you. Salute to you, Brittany said. How you doing this afternoon? Yeah. These people, they work together. They work together to present you with this idea that they are against each other. So they play these games. They run the gambit on you. And they have you guys believing, down here, us in the proletariat class, that they are really both working against each other for the best interest of their constituents, but they're not. That's why they all take the same money from the same special interest groups, the same PACs. They all take the money from the same bankers. Yeah. They represent their interest. They represent their needs and their wants. And I'm pretty sure, listen, Jeffrey Epstein was a power broker, okay, amongst the elite class. He was a blackmailer. He was a purveyor of children, right? He provided these children for these people. And they all moved in the same circles. They all know each other, right? Sarah Jane says, when the cameras aren't on, they all friends and laughing at how foolish them. Yes, Sarah Jane, absolutely. This is what they do. But here we just love it. We eat it up. We love the performance. Give them breads and circuses. Breads and circus. Give them bread and circus, and they will never revolt. Absolutely. And they know that, we're going to fight amongst each other and we're going to defend. They don't need us to defend them. These people have billions and billions of dollars. They have armed security. They can fly all over the world. They can do whatever they want. And they all go to the same parties. They all go to the same summits. They all listen, these people work together. They have to. That's how they do it. And they present to you the differences, right? They say, oh, look, the right, they have this ideology. They have this, they like these policies. The left like these policies, and they have this ideology. Of course, they had to present you as though they're to present it to you differently. If they were both the same, then there would be nothing. They wouldn't be able to deceive us. Of course, they're going to show you differences. They have to. If you don't give a fuck, then why are you here? Yeah, let me help you out. Yeah. I'm gonna allow you to go to, I'm gonna push you to go to the next thing. Yeah. Don't ever worry about coming back. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway. Yes, it's a big club and we're not in it. That's how it works. One big club. George Carlin has been telling us for decades what's been going on. But he's funny. So we look at it as a joke. But he has been warning us. George Carlin is one of my favorite comedians of all time. He spit that real shit. He was just funny doing it. And so they let him rock. Right? But he's been aware. How many maggots does it take to change a light bulb? None. Trump says he changed it and they stand in the dark cheering. That's funny. The same could be said for anybody that people cling to and any personality that people cling to, right? Any big personality, you like that person, they can do no wrong. So yeah, this is what they do. We follow, essentially it's a cult. That person can do no wrong and they lead us astray. That's really how it works. Maurice Henderson, did you send something to my email? I'll look at it after this. Yes, George Carlin's comedy is still relevant. Yes, absolutely right. Pedophiles are wrong. Anyway, y'all, thank you guys for coming through. I appreciate it. But I'm going to end this at the end of the day, man. 15 years old is not legal at all, let alone barely legal. Okay. It's just not. If you there, it is a distinction with no difference, right? Because if you violate a 15-year-old, it's no different than violating an 8-year-old. Either way, you should be summarily executed, right? Any violator, even if you violate and grape a grown woman or a grown man against their will and without their consent, and you violate them in that manner, yeah, you deserve to be summarily executed. Absolutely. And that's the bottom line. Anyway, y'all, Megyn R. Kelly is the authority on PDF files. That's funny. Megyn R. Kelly. Anyway, y'all, thank y'all for coming through. I got to finish up some work. Sarah Jane says, I think the whole left-right paradigm is just to give us all the illusion that we actually have a choice. Absolutely. And they have to keep that illusion up because they need us to go out and vote. Salute to Gwyncy. Salute to you, brother, for that $2 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you, man, so much. Why do you leftist Democrats fight for chomos? Who are you talking about? You ain't talking about me because I'm not a leftist. I am definitely not that. Someone says, bye, Goofy. Let me help you out. You ain't never got to come back. If I'm Goofy, hold on. Eric, if I'm Goofy, you ain't got to worry about me. There. Anyway, much love. Y'all stay up. I might come back through later and talk about this Brian Norman versus Devin Haney fight. Completely different subject, right? If you guys enjoy boxing. If you guys come back, if you guys enjoy boxing, I'll be talking about the Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney fight. I'm going to be talking about what I'm going to be trying to ask the question, what does Brian Norman do good? And when has he ever used ring IQ in a fight, in a boxing match? Anyway. Yeah, that's what they do. They pigeonhole you. It is what it is, you know. They do that all the time. Anyway, I'm holla at y'all later. Y'all stay safe out there and protect your children. Right? Because they're the least protected class in the world. So it's up to us as parents, as communities, as families to put the children first. Holla at y'all later. Make sure y'all hit that like button on the way out. Peace. Salute to you, Latressa. I hope you will. Respect to y'all.